Welcome, students, to another episode of Man Academy Podcasting. When will you make a demand? When?
Now.
No. When do people make demands?
When they want something.
When?
When they need something.
They need something. Give me an example.
Well, if you need to...
Iceberg, stop fucking shuffling. Go ahead.
You need to give directions.
What's that?
So you'd ask somebody. Or you need to get your needs met, like you're talking to a chick and you want...
Alright, shut up. We need something more fundamental.
For example, I'm hungry, I want to eat.
Okay, right. Let's go even more fundamental than that. Let's talk about babies. Babies are born. What do they start doing right after they're born?
Crying.
Why are they crying? Why are they crying?
Because they want something. They want the kitty.
They need something. What do babies cry? You wake up and the baby's crying.
Food. They cry for mother.
Yeah, they need the mommy. What else they need?
They need food.
They need food, right? They're hungry. They cry when they're hungry. You always hear babies crying. They don't have a way to order, so they don't say garçon. I need a menu. They don't quietly walk into the kitchen and turn on the stove and start making bacon and eggs. They cry. They can't do anything else. They have to make a demand. They're hungry, so they cry. It's very fundamental, right? You have a need that drives you, hunger, and then you try to get the need met. You cry. Bacon, do you cry when you're hungry?
I don't cry, but I eat.
You go eat, right? Now instead of just making a demand, you know how to get the demand met.
Yes.
You can make food, you can go buy food, you can steal food, but you generally don't need to cry to get somebody else to get your need met for you. You can meet that demand on your own because you have the ability to do so, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is when we get when we make our demands, when we have when we have a need driving us. We have something driving us, and we're clear that. Well, we don't even necessarily need to be clear. A baby's not clear on what on. Let me rephrase that. I'm trying to think about how to put this so it'll make sense to you. A baby experiences hunger just like you experience hunger. It knows it has to eat, so it just immediately starts crying. You're clear when you're hungry that you need food, so you execute the demand and go get the food. Either you order food from somebody, you drive to the store to get the food, you buy the food, you do something to get the food. So you're clear that you're hungry and you need to get the hunger need met. It's very clear in your head. So making the demand is easy because it's very clear what you need. You need the food. It's not so clear that you need relationships. That is still not a necessity for you. You experience loneliness. You experience suffering by being by yourself. You experience delusions by just avoiding relationships and not getting feedback from other people. You experience the pain of isolation. You experience sadness. So a lot of times you attribute these things to other causes other than needing a relationship. So, for example, you may be isolated and feeling lonely, so you think you need a video game. You may be sad, so you think you need a hit off of the marijuana pipe. You may be feeling bored and suffering from the isolation. You think you need a beer to kill the boredom. Hold on, I hate this shuffling motherfucker. All right. You may be lonely for a girlfriend, so you download porn. So, because you're not clear on the fact that you need a relationship, the need isn't clear, you're not clear on what the goal is, it's easier for you to avoid making demands, right? You won't cry like a baby for food. It's not as clear as that. You think it's all these other things. You have all these other distractions. So this is why it's difficult for you to make a demand. If it was very clear for you, look, I need a relationship, that's a necessity. And you're bored, you're lonely, you're isolated, You have all these other symptoms of not making a relationship. You're suicidal, you're hopeless, you're apathetic. You have all these symptoms telling you, look, there's a need that's not being fulfilled. You need to get a relationship. Well, if that's not clear to you, you won't make the demand. You won't say, I have a need for a relationship, I need to get this met. It won't enter your mind. So, your vision dictates what you do. Your vision, what you see as the necessity, how clear it is that you need this relationship, will determine when you make the demand. I mean, it's very clear I need relationships. It's not as clear as it should be, but it's clearer than you guys. That's why it's easier for me to make a demand in class. That's why it's easier for me to make a demand on a student. That's why it's easier for me to make a demand on a girl. I know I need a relationship to a certain degree. Now, I don't fully realize it because I still do other things to distract myself from meeting the need. But the clearer I become, the easier it is to make a demand. As I'm talking to you guys, sometimes I realize I'm not making a demand. And that's why the relationship isn't forming. I need the relationship, but I'm like, this relationship isn't forming. And I start reflecting and I realize I'm just not making enough demands. Sometimes I explain a lot of things to you. I explain. And then the relationship doesn't form and I'm not satisfied. And I think, why aren't the Eurofags coming along? Why aren't the Eurofags making demands? And I realize I'm not making enough demands on the Eurofags. I'm not making demands. So then once my vision becomes clearer, I need this relationship. Therefore, I need to make the demand. So when my vision becomes clearer, it's much easier to make demands on you Eurofags now. Before I'm worried, I don't want to offend you guys. I don't want people to leave the academy. I don't want people to become butthurt. I don't want Zymox to cry and be hopeless. But the clearer I become on the need for the relationship, the clearer it is that I have to make a demand. The more apparent it becomes that I have to make a demand on Zymox. I can't just sit around. I can't just wait. I can't just worry about not offending him. I have to make a demand. I have to move it forward. So the clearer you guys become that the relationship is necessary, the easier it will be for you to make a demand. The sooner you will make a demand.
Professor.
Yes.
I'm not clear with something.
Yes.
When you say easier, you mean easier for me to give myself permission?
If you don't show up, you won't make a demand. If you don't show up, you won't realize relationships are a necessity. You won't train at all, and you will never make a demand.
Gotcha.
So if we want a clear vision, what should we do?
Well, number one, you should show up. You shouldn't be like Iceberg showing up once a year. You'll never get anywhere. So if you're not consistently showing up, forget about it. You'll get to the relationship necessity, or you'll consider that relationships are a necessity. It's a good idea, but you won't actually have any realization of it. So number one, you got to show up. Number two, to a certain extent, you have to do the procedures. You have to do the basic rote mechanics of making demands. For example, you didn't mumble. You guys come here mumbling a lot. You have to learn to speak clearly. You have to learn to end strongly. So, at the very least, as babies, you need to learn mechanics. You won't understand the principle, the goal to form a relationship, but you need mechanics. So, you need to learn how to speak strongly. You need to learn how to make eye contact. You need to learn how to express the demand. So, you need to follow a certain procedure. But once you are able to speak up, you're able to speak clearly, you're able to slow down, then it's time to adjust and not just focus on the procedure, but to start focusing on the goal, which is to make the relationship. The goal isn't to make the procedure. All bullshit, and guys like him always think that the goal is to make the procedure. I need to be aggressive. I need to speak up. I need to muster energy. This is like step one of your training. When you first come here, you're a new guy. You will muster some energy. I need to make a demand, right? You'll muster some energy. But just mustering energy isn't going to get you anywhere. Mustering up enough energy to perform a procedure isn't going to get you anywhere. It'll get you to a certain point, right? If you speak up and you speak clearly, people will listen to you. If you speak clearly, you end strongly, people think you're authoritative. They'll want to hang out with you a little bit. But just giving context, telling people what not to do, and telling people what to do will not form a functional relationship. because you're missing the feeling, which is the right side of the cheat sheet, which is reveal your feeling. But consistently revealing your feeling is only going to happen if you realize you need the relationship. Consistently revealing your feeling, which is, i.e., making the demand, right? I need the relationship. I can tell you, you need to reveal your feeling, and you can get frustrated and finally reveal your feeling. It's not that you can't reveal your feeling, but consistently revealing your feeling is a matter of the vision of needing the relationship. The clearer you are that you need the relationship, the less you're going to be like bald bullshit into faking it, pretending, injecting emotion where there is no emotion. You'll knock off the bullshit. You'll just spontaneously reveal what is already there. You will make the demand. So the right side of that cheat sheet is hard to do. It's probably the hardest part to do because it depends on your realization, right? The more you realize, I need this relationship, it's not just an optional thing. A lot of you guys come to the academy and you think, oh, I'm training to get a threesome. I'm training to make a friend in class. I'm training so I can talk to my mom. I'm training so I can get a good job. I'm training so I won't be lonely. I'm training so I won't have a monotone. You have like all these ulterior motives and all these peripheral goals that are related to the relationship, but they're not directly the relationship. So the clearer you become that you need relationships, that the people here are a necessity, not just a training tool, the clearer it's going to be, or the more apparent it's going to be that you need to reveal your feeling. Right? A lot of you guys that aren't revealing your feelings, consider your goal. Do you need a relationship? Ball bullshit? Answer is no. For ball bullshit, the answer is definitely no. For ball bullshit, his goal is not a relationship. His goal is to get laid. So, making a demand, revealing his feeling, is not a necessity. I mean, does he need to even be at the academy to get laid? No. If he really wanted to, he'd just go buy a hooker right now. So his goal is not to make the relationship, so making a demand isn't a priority. No wonder he's full of shit right now. No wonder he wastes everybody's time. It's not his goal. His goal isn't to make a relationship. His goal is to do it correctly. His goal is to not be ridiculed. His goal is to not be monotone. But it's not to form a relationship with you. What's Catman's goal? Is it to form a relationship?
No.
No, what's your goal, Catman?
To get a girlfriend.
To get a girlfriend. So, he just even if you perform the procedures on the left side of the cheat sheet, you give context, tell people what to do, tell people what not to do, you can get a girlfriend. Keeping her is another story. Making the relationship meet your needs, your relationship need, is another story. That requires that right side of the cheat sheet, revealing the feeling, making the demand consistently. So, this is why Catman has trouble revealing the feeling. His goal isn't the relationship. Not clear. Why does Bunny Boy have trouble revealing the feeling? What's your goal, Bunny Boy?
Fuck chicks.
Fuck chicks and what else?
Have good friends that will support me.
No, you have a bigger goal here at the academy.
At the academy, delete hangouts.
No. What's your goal at the academy?
At the academy. To become a professor.
Your goal is to not look stupid. Your goal is not to have relationships. Your goal is to not look stupid. So, revealing the feeling is going to be very difficult for you. What's your goal, meth user?
It is relationship.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
Being a leader.
No.
Trying to be a leader.
What's your goal?
Well, I don't want to look stupid.
That's your main goal, exactly. Avion, what's your goal?
I don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah, that's your main goal. So that's why you have trouble revealing the feeling. It's not a necessity. It's just, your goal is to not look stupid. So you just don't have to talk. Revealing the feeling, you may look stupid. You have to be accountable. But that ties into a goal of a relationship, not your goal, which is not looking stupid. Bacon, what's your goal?
I want to be cool.
Yeah, essentially not look stupid. I want to be cool,
Yeah.
right? Your goal is not a relationship. That's why it's very difficult for you to reveal the feeling. Loki, what's your goal?
I don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck up your hangouts. So it's very difficult for you to reveal the feeling. Connery, what's your goal?
I don't want to look stupid.
Well, we all have a lot of goals about not looking stupid, but forming the relationship is like way back here. It's like third or fourth. Slumdog, what's your goal?
I want to keep my next girlfriend.
Keep the next girlfriend. And then after that, do things correctly, right? Not make a mistake. Duckface, what's your goal?
It's It's the same. I don't want to look stupid.
Yeah,
and
okay. Zymox, what's your goal? Zymox, can't hear you, Zymox, can't hear you. Maybe microphone muted.
Yeah, I also don't want you to look stupid.
Yeah, well, you don't even know how to unmute your mic, so you already look stupid. So, everybody's got a goal here that's just other than the relationship. It's related. It's just not the relationship. So, it's very difficult for you to see the necessity of even making a demand, of revealing your feelings. I realize I need this relationship, so I have to reveal my feeling. It's just it's par for the course of teaching you something, of conveying to you something, and getting something in return. This is what causes the relationship to meet my need. So I have to do it. Whereas you, it's like, well, relationship, it's a good idea in theory, but I just want to not look stupid. So revealing a feeling it doesn't even come into play. Making a demand doesn't come into play. The right side of the cheat sheet doesn't come into play. This is why it's very difficult for you to form relationships, because relationship goal is this way, and your goal is that way. It's like off to the right or left. So you're heading this way and trying to get to relationship. Well, if you're not making a demand, you can't get to functional relationship over here. You can get these other kinds of relationships where, you just want to fuck the chick, or you want to not look stupid, you want people to think you're cool in class. These are just dysfunctional relationships. Well, they're not a functional relationship. Because your goal isn't the relationship. Your goal isn't a necessity that I need a relationship. It's I need these things that are part of a functional relationship. Right? Hanging out is part of a functional relationship, but it's not a functional relationship. Looking cool may be part of, if you're doing things correctly in a relationship, people may look at you outwardly and go, oh, this guy's cool. But that's just part of. It's not the definition of a functional relationship. It's just part of. So you guys are just looking at these parts and going, I just want this part. A lot of you guys I want to graduate after 2 years. Is that a relationship? A graduation requirement. Ironically, you don't realize you will never graduate this academy. It's a joke. It's been a joke from day one. There's no such thing as graduation here. Graduation is realizing you need a relationship, which means you realize you need everybody here. They're not just training tools. They're not just people you see from day to day and you go, oh, that guy again. Oh, that dork again. Oh, that loser again. If they just stay that way, you haven't formed a relationship, which means you'll never graduate this academy. This academy is based on not graduating. The only way to graduate this academy is to not graduate. Is to realize you need everybody here. And everybody you come in contact with is a necessity. It's a relationship. Oh, you shuffling motherfucker. All right. Hello?
So how do we realize that we need a relationship?
Well, you have to train. You have to show up, number one. So, a lot of you guys are already out of the running. You just don't show up consistently enough. To get a realization, you have to train. You have to do things. You have to practice making the demand. You have to practice this procedure. And when people put enough demands on you, you get frustrated enough, you'll start having a realization just from your training, from doing it correctly. You'll start realizing, oh, this is why this happens. Then you'll have a realization, oh, I need to make a demand. So, to a certain extent, you need to practice this rote activity, this boring procedure. Because you're not clear. I mean, you need a relationship. That's a good theory. You can mentally appreciate it. You can say, oh, professor's right, I need relationships. But if you have no training, you're not practicing making demands, you're never going to realize that as a real goal. It's just going to be a mental appreciation goal, a good idea, a good option, not a necessity, a good option. It's a good idea, Professor. After I'm done banging chicks, I'll think about forming functional relationships. Oh, after I don't look stupid anymore, people think I'm cool. Maybe it's a good idea to form a relationship, right? Secondary goal.
You're right, but especially when you said that we look at other students as training fields. For example, Bacon is my friend outside the academy, and outside of the academy, I treat him as a
Hold
friend.
on a second.
Where's the noise
Where's
coming
that
from?
fucking noise coming from?
Iceberg, meet your
Fucking-
It's not me.
Not you.
Happens
You
as soon as you unmute
cocksucker.
your mic.
Alright, go ahead, bunny boy.
So Bacon is my friend outside the academy, and I treat him as my friend outside the academy. But when I'm here, even him, I look at him as a training wheel, just another student, which is really weird. And I have a mental appreciation, like I understand that I need relationships, and I understand that it's very useful to have relationships across the globe. I mean, what's more, it's so fortunate that I can have, for example, a guy from UK, or a guy from Ukraine. But I don't really realize that I need all these guys. And that's a problem.
Yep, that's a problem.
So the only way to solve it is to train more, right?
I don't know. You tell me. How do you develop any skill?
Yeah, training.
Professor, what
Yes.
does a functional relationship entail?
What's that? What's a functional relationship
is a
entail?
functional relationship like? Yeah, what happens in a functional relationship?
Oh, you ever been in a good hangout at the academy?
Yeah.
Well, it's like that, except you'll be talking.
Alright.
Yesterday's one with Lakeisha and DVD was great. And after the hangout, Lakeisha, DVD, Stingray, and Honky led a discussion about whether just using the cheat sheet is enough for you to form a relationship, or you need a clear goal of forming a relationship.
Well, you need both. They're both right. You need just the cheat sheet to have the realization. You need some training. You need some basic procedures to learn how to have the realization that I need a relationship. So you need to do some certain things, right? You need to give context. You need to tell people what not to do. You need to tell people what to do. You need to speak clearly. You need to end strongly. You need to stop mumbling. You need to maintain some eye contact. So you need to practice some basic things that are part of making a demand. You need to reveal your feeling. These are all part of making a demand for a relationship. But the goal is not to practice all these steps on the cheat sheet. The cheat sheet should eventually become organic. When I'm talking to you guys, I don't go, well, I need to give context, or otherwise meth user won't understand me. Oh, I need to tell Duckface what not to do, otherwise he won't understand that what he's doing is a problem. I need to give ball bullshit direction. I need to tell him what to do, otherwise he won't know where to go. He won't know what to do to meet his need. Oh, I need to reveal my feeling, otherwise Avion won't be moved to do something, or he won't be prevented from doing something. I need to reveal my feeling. I don't think any of those thoughts while I'm talking to people. I just go, Avion. Avion.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, there's a yes, yes. Yes, Avion. Come on, let's go. Yes.
Yes.
Look at your fucking eyes. You're like a dead robot. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go, Avion. Yes.
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 Yes. Avion. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, you asshole. You want to stay a blank wall your entire life?
No, I don't want to be a fucking...
No, I don't want to be no. Yes, Avion.
Yes.
Do you want to be a blank wall your entire life?
No.
No. You sound like a fucking Yeti. Let's go, Avion.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. You get the idea. So, in my head, am I doing the cheat sheet, by the way, Duckface?
I think that you are.
Bunny Boy, am I following the cheat sheet?
Not really, yes and no. You're making it short.
Bacon, am I following the cheat sheet?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Meth user, am I following the cheat sheet?
No.
No. Connery, am I following the cheat sheet? Connery, am I following the cheat sheet?
Yes, you are.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Meth user says no. Are you sure?
Well, Matthew's is wrong.
Blokey, am I following the cheat sheet?
I missed the context.
Well, bullshit. Am I following the cheat sheet?
No. The fuck?
Well, bullshit. Yes or no?
No.
No. The correct answer is, fuck yeah, I was following the cheat sheet. Did I give him context? I identified the problem. I even mimicked him. Of course I gave him context. I didn't say, oh, Avion, now is the context part of the cheat sheet. Avion, this is what you sound like. Here's the context of what I want, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do any of that. I just quickly cut to the chase. I cut out the preface and just did it. Like a lot of you guys preface and say, okay, Avion, now is the context part of the cheat sheet. Now I'm going to direct you about context. I'm going to tell you that I need you to do this, and here's what you're doing, and this is the context part. Okay, and now Avion, now I'm moving on to the don't do part. I didn't do any of the prefacing. I'm advanced level, right? Advanced ninja level. I just said, Avion, no, do you want to sound like this? No, it's already implied I don't like it. My tone tells it, my face, my scrunched face. Avion, I'm demanding of him. I'm saying, no, not this. Avion, this is what you sound like. I said, Avion like this. I imitated him. I exaggerated. I caricatured his voice. Did I tell him what to do? Avion, did I tell you what to do? How do you know? How do you know, Avion, I told you what to do? I didn't say, now, Avion, I'm doing the to-do part.
You told me to say yes, and then I said yes.
And you didn't do it correctly. Then what did I do?
And then you mimicked me, and I was like, fuck. So then I need to do it again in a different way. You told me my eyes looked dead, like I was like a blank wall. Then I did it again.
How did you know I didn't want that? How did you know what I wanted?
I could see it from your face and your tone. You didn't sound happy with it.
Okay, so there's all these little different indications about the to-do part and where I want him to go, where I'm pushing him. And finally, did I reveal my feeling?
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So, was I using the cheat sheet or not?
Yes.
Yes. Well, why wasn't I using the cheat sheet like Bob Bullshit uses the cheat sheet? Why didn't I do it his way? What was the difference?
Because he focuses on certain parts of it. And he fakes it anyway. He fakes his emotions. So
Why? What's the difference between the way he uses the cheat sheet and the way I use the cheat sheet?
Focused on the cheat sheet. You, professor, are focused on the relationship.
Yes, I need the relationship. It's a necessity. Everything is spontaneous because it just applies. It's part of the necessity of making the demand. I need to give him context. If I don't give him context, Avion's not going to understand what the fucking problem is. He's not going to understand what I'm even talking about. Of course I have to identify the problem. If I don't identify the problem, he's not going to realize it's a problem. He's just going to think, oh, it's an optional way to do it your way, professor, but I can still do it my way. And then, I got to tell him what to do. I got to push him to what I want. Otherwise, how will he even know what to do? And then I got to reveal my feeling. If I don't reveal my feeling, I talk like him. I'm not going to even push him. In fact, my frustration in not forming the relationship is going to help me reveal my feeling. So, all those things are the cheat sheet. The clearer I am with my vision, the clearer the cheat sheet is to me. Right? It just spontaneously happens. Whatever part's missing, I gotta fill in. Whereas if the relationship is not a necessity and it's not clear, you need it, and you have bullshit vision, which is I just need to fix my monotone, then the cheat sheet just becomes a dead procedure. It's, okay, now it's time to give context. Avion, your voice is not to my liking. It is like this. It is dead. Okay, now don't do. Avion, I don't want you to sound monotone. I don't want you to not reveal your feelings. And then the 2D part. Avion, I want you to sound like this. I want you to end strongly. Oh, did I reveal my feeling? Right? You're going through a checklist of what a relationship should look like. You're like imitating a functional relationship. But it's very hard once you get to that reveal feeling, right? Because revealing the feeling goes along with your vision. The clearer you are, the clearer it is you have to reveal your feeling.
Professor, Dick Van Dyke says he has the cheat sheet in his head all day whenever he's talking to people. He's got the 4 aspects of the cheat sheet in his head all day.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I'm giving enough context.
Good for him.
A to-do part.
Good for him.
Is that how we should train?
What's that?
Is that how we should train?
What do you mean, is that how you should train? Do you have the cheat? What are the 4 aspects on the cheat sheet? Quick.
Context, what to do, what not to do, reveal a feeling.
What not to do comes first, before what to do. Context, what not to do, what to do, reveal the feeling. Do you have those memorized?
No.
Well, how are you gonna practice what you don't even have memorized in theory? I mean, it's only 4 things. You're too dumb to memorize 4 things?
No, I'll memorize them.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Professor, is it a good idea to know what you learn in class? Should we practice what you're teaching in class or not? Fucking idiot. Anything else?
Professor?
Yes.
So I have a slight problem.
Yes.
I see the academy as completely disparate from the regular world, for example.
That's not a slight problem. That's a huge problem.
Okay, fine. So the way that I see it,
fine.
what we do in here is training on steroids. Like I can't walk out into the real world and do this to people's faces.
Yes.
How do you converge the academy with the real world?
Well, they're the same thing. When I'm talking to Avion, did you see me saying, "Oh, Avion, I need to start pointing"? Avion, you need to reveal your feeling. Did I do any of that?
Right. You didn't. It's more.
I already merged the real world. I show you how the real world merges.
Right.
The more you train, which you don't do, the more organic it will become. The more organic speaking will become. The more organic your body language will become. The more organic your reactions will become. The more organic your using the cheat sheet will become. You won't be thinking, "Oh, am I giving context right now?" You'll spontaneously give it. You're like, "I have to explain what's going on. I'm not clear enough. The guy's not getting it. I need to give him more context." Oh, I'm not identifying the problem. No wonder why this guy isn't fucking realizing what he's doing is wrong. I haven't even identified the problem yet. I need to tell him what not to do. Oh, he doesn't have any direction now. I'm just a no smoking sign. All I am is telling people what not to do. I need to tell them what to do. I need to be accountable to my thought. I need to do the to-do part of the cheat sheet. Oh, I'm not revealing my feeling. No wonder when nobody's fucking caring what I say. Nobody's listening to me. I need to reveal the feeling. I'm getting frustrated because people aren't listening to me. I'm getting frustrated because people ignore me. I need to reveal the feeling. See? Spontaneous. The more clear you are, the more organic the cheat sheet becomes. It's not just a procedure anymore like it is for bullshit. Like it is for Catman. But you must train to even get the realization. Right now you just have mental appreciation. You have mental masturbation. That's it. You need some genuine appreciation of the cheat sheet. You need some genuine appreciation of relationships being a necessity. Reaction time. Avion. Avion.
I mean, I try to give people the what not to do part in real life, and I always just end up making them butthurt, so I'm definitely doing something wrong.
Yeah, definitely not training at the academy.
And I didn't realize that relationships were the goal, actually. I just thought it was just, oh, we'll improve this aspect of ourselves, I'll finally not talk in a monotone, and then, yeah, bro, I've graduated. But
Woo!
No, I'm in here for the long run, and yeah, that's my reaction.
Okay, Bacon.
I like this class. I like how you're.
I like the class.
Yes.
Yes.
But my problem is I don't like to train, and I like to sit and to listen to what you say. I don't like to train. Like, I want to train at the academy, but I'm like, don't make me do anything I don't like. Like, it's not pretty. That stupid word. I don't like training. I don't like you making me do something I don't want to do. And I know that I have to do it to progress.
Yeah, if you talk like that forever, I will never be in a room with you. Zemox. Zemox.
Well, I appreciate what you said in this class.
No, you don't.
But for me, okay, but I want to start training. I actually like listening to a theory.
Well, step one is showing up.
Yeah, listening to theory, it's fine, but I don't
Step
know.
2 is speaking of time, Ox.
To train, and that I actually, as much as I appreciate what you said, but I still wanted to train here, not to listen to a theory.
If you appreciated what I said, you'd be doing what I said. So don't bullshit me like you appreciate it.
Well,
Bunny boy.
Like you see, okay, so I appreciate that.
Cool story, bro. Just come to class.
Wait.
Bunny boy, go ahead.
Professor, with this class, you kind of knocked on the open door because DVD had a similar idea yesterday in his hangout. And he was so passionate about it that he actually changed my mind. In the cheat sheet thread, he said, we should put that relationship as a goal on the cheat sheet. And I disagreed. I replied, no need for that. Use the cheat sheet, you will form the relationship. But yesterday in the hangout, he actually changed my mind. And I think it's much more natural and humane, and I just like the attitude of forming a relationship with guys here than just training. Like,
Well, I'm sure many guys have never even gotten to that podcast, so they have no clue that the idea is to form a relationship. I'm sure many guys just skipped over that part in the ebook.
Which podcast is it?
Which podcast? Fuck off. Meth user.
Yeah, I need to memorize the cheat sheet.
Yeah, if you can't memorize 4 things, you could fuck off.
I've got it memorized, but I don't use it. I'm not using it properly, and that's what I want to do. And
Use it as a procedure until you get it, and then it'll just be organic. It'll be like second nature, right?
well, not without the ultimate goal of forming relationships.
Right, but at the very least, you don't show up enough to even worry about the goal yet. Just worry about the procedure right now. Just memorize it and use it. Even if you have to do it like, oh, now I'm giving context.
I'm showing up as much as I can, a couple times on the weekends and Blokey's hangouts. So
Slumdog.
That doesn't really count what you do in my hangouts, Matthews. You're at work. You listen.
Yeah,
That's not going to get you to learn how to talk.
he doesn't do shit. Slumdog, go.
I haven't internalized what all you've said, although I do agree with it in theory. Because in the academy, it feels like there's a safety bubble here. I can try out anything that I want. But I'm still too scared to try anything outside in the real world. So that has to break down.
Well, you don't even try anything in the safety bubble, so good luck doing it in the real world. Catman.
I also only appreciate the cheat sheet as an idea. But when I go to the real world, I I don't think about the cheat sheet. I forget everything about Academy. And I just improvise.
Cool. Well,
I also
bullshit.
need to download it in my head.
It's frustrating to hear that I don't fucking realize that I'm trying to build a relationship. I realized it after hearing what you had to say, and it's like, fuck me, man. I'm focused on doing the details and making this list and following this list, and it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just gotta keep showing up because that's all I can do.
Well, you just practice doing those 4 things, and you will get it. It will click one day that you need a relationship. Blokey.
Yo.
Also, ball bullshit, it's not going to click if the other students aren't training and pushing you. Because you only grow as much as everybody else around you is pushing you to grow. So, the more I push you, the more I reveal my feeling, the quicker you understand that the relationship is a necessity. If Avion was in charge of pushing you, good luck with that. Right? Avion, ball bullshit, you're not doing it correctly. Ball bullshit, you're not revealing your feeling. Right? If you have a guy like that pushing you, it's like fucking having a substitute teacher in class. Right? Fuck the sub.
Right.
But if I'm pushing you, you got a better chance because now I'm revealing my feeling. We're gonna get somewhere. You can't help but be pushed. You can't help but be pushed if people are actually pushing. If people aren't really pushing, like if Avion's pushing you, ball bullshit, you're monotone, you need to reveal the feeling. If he's pushing you, he's not really pushing you. He's just kind of repeating words, but he's not really revealing the feeling, so you're not really being pushed anywhere. People have to actually be pushing for you to get pushed. But the good news is, if they are pushing you, even if you're resisting, you'll get somewhere. Blokey.
Professor, you said something about, well, at the beginning you were talking about we don't really reveal our feelings because we don't have your realization. We don't realize we need relationships. But then at the end you said, just follow the procedure, follow the cheat sheet until you get the realization.
Yes.
So how do I use my feelings to push people in my hangouts if I'm still focused on, oh, I want to do well, I want a thumbs up, I don't want to be embarrassed, I don't want to be called out?
I don't know, I guess your hangouts will just suck until you get frustrated enough to start revealing your feeling.
Fuck!
Duckface.
I'm not sure. I'm a bit shattered about how we came to the conclusion that we're not here for a relationship. I mean, it's good because now I can like lower my expectations and just be okay with just showing up and not like expect myself to make friends with everyone like on the immediately.
You.
But I don't want to like be stuck where I am too, like not having any or not realizing what a relationship is.
Well, maybe you'll train.
Because that, yeah.
Sweet. Iceberg.
Shit. You unmuted me and then I muted myself. Okay,
Good thing you explained that to me.
Okay, when you were talking, I couldn't stop thinking about driving a car. It's like at the beginning when I'm learning how to drive a car, I'm just shifting the gear, I'm spinning the wheel, and that's all I need to know. But then when I actually know how to drive, I have a goal. My goal is to go from point A to point B. And that's exactly the same thing that you explained. So it made a lot of sense to me. Secondly, I forgot about it.
Connery.
I don't even know what my goal was before you pointed out that we need relationships. Because in my head, I had an idea that I would become cool, and I would start banging chicks and have a lot of friends, and then I'd form relationships. And I know it's fucked up, but that's the way my head was. Now that you said the relationship is the number one goal, I don't want to be open with people. I don't want to tell them about my shitty life. So it's like this is a bigger challenge.
You make it sound like everybody's here because they have a good life.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't. I suppose it's okay at the academy. I'm thinking outside, like in the outside world. I don't talk to people in everyday life about my life because I just think we'll be bored listening to what I get up to every day. So I'm like, well, why should I tell these people? They're not going to even want to listen to me.
Well, they'll be bored if you don't push them, if you don't reveal the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you won't realize that if you don't practice it. That's the problem. It's like, well, nobody's going to listen to me because my life is boring. Your life is the same as everybody else's life. You think you're like, oh, you need an interesting life to be interesting. You're like, all bullshit. If I didn't have an interesting story to tell, I won't be an interesting guy. That's silly.
Yeah, that is what I think.
Yeah, that's silliness.
I think if I haven't had interesting experiences or gone to interesting places...
Yeah, that makes you interesting. No, it doesn't. I know a person who travels the world. I was just looking at their Facebook. They posted a picture with John Cusack. It's like, they do interesting things, but they're not interesting. They're not an interesting person. I wouldn't want to sit in a room with them, even though they've been to all these exotic locations and met all these people. I wouldn't want to talk to them. So they have interesting stories. It's not the stories that are interesting. It's not the places you travel that are interesting. It's, are you revealing the feeling? Are you pushing somebody to move them somewhere?
So you could be a dull guy who sits in his room all day.
Listen to LaQuisha. LaQuisha does just that. LaQuisha's more interesting to talk to than you. He doesn't even leave his room.
Fair enough.
Woo!